couple of the ones I'm not a big fan of. I don't think they really are bodybuilding, but they're considered it. But so as you know, you are an athlete, and what got you back into bodybuilding? What was such a long hiatus since your last time you competed?
Oh man, how long do you have? You have a
I'm here.
couple of hours.
I don't got no place to go.
Oh man. So yeah, like I said, the last time I was on stage was in July, I believe, of 2021, Women's Physique. I did had a great coach, still do. Loved it. Got into a poor relationship and gave up on it. Classic reason. A lot of different reasons were involved, but mainly financials. I would do a prep. I'd have to cancel the prep. I'd have to do a prep, and then I'd have to cancel the prep again. And it got to that point where I was like, all right, I'm done completely. So I gave up fully. I probably ate more than I've ever eaten in my life in 2023. And then 2024 was when I decided, all right, I didn't get my life back in line, because the one thing that remained consistent was the gym. Even when I quit bodybuilding, I was still in the gym every day. So, it's life happens, man. And it's all about who you surround yourself with in the sport. And now I'm surrounded by people that are nothing but supportive and here for me and pushing me. And that just, once I'm on. And that's where we are now. So 4 years later, that's a nutshell of why.
Well, everybody has their reasons. I've known some ladies who stepped away because of personal reasons, financial, family associated.
Yep.
One is one. In some cases, some women have gotten the family way, and the responsibility of children and a family take precedent. Expense of competing is a lot compared to any other sport with which you get something back out of it. If you, like I said, you played volleyball, and if you became a professional volleyball player, hey, you can make a living off of it. Especially, there's a nipple level volleyball, there's the beach volleyball. It's very popular. But I think this sport is a passion sport, and when you get back into it, you have to maintain that passion, because it can be a lot, physically, mentally, and again, financially.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah. I know when I talk to some ladies, they have to, for one thing, is, for women, you have to have a presentation.
Yep.
You have to have a look to you, your hair, your makeup, your tan, your jewelry. If you're in the teenage divisions like wellness or bikini, you need high heels. You need high heels. The guys, all they gotta do is put on a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts and slap on tan.
Yeah.
But they do have their expenses too, because they do eat more compared to the women. And dieting, that's a tough part of it. I will say, some ladies say it's like 70 to 80% of what they do as a bodybuilder.
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry. I didn't get the question.
It's not a question. I'm talking.
Oh.
It's a back and forth.
You asked a question. I was like, what?
Yeah. I do a back and forth. Sometimes I ask questions now and then, but sometimes I like to get it back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. It feels more natural. Like we're on a date, like I'm, So after that, who your coach mentioned, who's your coach, how long y'all been together?
So my coach was in the past Scott Lightfoot. We still are he still helps us out a lot. Right now I'm self-coached along with my boyfriend, Gerald. We kind of are teaming it. So I'm in charge of my nutrition. He does the training and the protocols. Scott still helps us out. He's one of our best friends, but I am technically self-coached this time around.
Well, that's really, I think that's probably tough compared to being coached by somebody else. Plus, it's more cost efficient, you might well say, because
that was the main reason.
But one thing I think most competitors, you need a coach, because sometimes there's some things that you won't see or miss that you need that other eye for. And if Scott's still there, he helps you out, maybe get a little critique here and there. That helps you out.
Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. I know bodybuilding is a super solo sport, but I would not be able to do it without the team. We call ourselves Team Texas Muscle. Everybody's got eyes on everybody over here. We'll send the check-ins, get help, solicit help. Hey, what do you think I should do? And everybody's just so helpful in it, and I love it. It's such a good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think Texas is starting to become a growing mecca in bodybuilding.
For real.
Yeah, I know back in the day it was California. Florida has a bodybuilding community, and the last few years Texas has been growing. Like people like
Yeah.
Cheryl Vilgas. She promotes the Texas Pro.
Yeah.
There's Mila Ash. She lives in Texas. Ashley Jones, who I had the pleasure of meeting when I was in Tampa. She's a cute little thing.
She is my favorite, especially when she switched to women's bodybuilding. I always loved her in women's physique, but man, women's bodybuilding, I'm like, you are coming, girl. She is absolutely a unit.
I remember it was that last year she competed in physique. That was back in 2022. And she posted a picture. This is one picture. This is my favorite here. I love this one here. It's just wow, just like that smile and
unit
and that body. Oh, I mean, I can't help myself. I have a crime to admit. Roxy, I'm a muscle person. I just find y'all muscle ladies very enticing and fighting. But I remember she posted a picture on IG. Her back was turned. At first, I thought it was Margie Martin. At first, when I saw it, but then when she turned around, I said, "Wait, that's Ashley Jones." I said, "Wow!" And I remember I did this one time. I did this thing where I made a comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Now actually, that's her in Taekwondo. That was the last time. But then I took this one and put it between her and Margie.
Yeah.
And this was 2022. That's Margie's last year competing in women's bodybuilding. This was, Ashley's last year competing in women's physique. And truthfully, other than that, I think Margie's quads a little bigger. I think she's a little small in the waist.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the difference. You would think they're both female women's bodybuilders.
Yeah. I was so amped when she made the jump. I thought it was freaking awesome. I'm like, oh, here we go. She can get top 3. Sure enough.
Yeah, she did it. She did both in the Rising Phoenix. It's coming up next weekend. It's no longer the women's World Bodybuilding Championships. Now it's up opportunity. Plus, the top 3 competitors can get the pro card this year. And also, she was number 3 behind Andrea and also Angela. That's my girlfriend, Andrea Shaw. I just love her. I think she's so beautiful, so amazing. This is a true story. That's why I love Eunice. A while back, I always want to bring this out in my interviews because you know what? As my other half says, if you get us something, never do it for free. And this is why I call my payment. It was like back in 2023 was I think I was about to turn, 49. And Eunice was there that year and she was hanging out and she got this issue of Muscle Development. It's the last issue in print. I still got some in a closet storage room with my comic books and stuff.
Yeah.
And what makes it so special is not just that it's the last issue with Andrea on the cover. Eunice had asked her if she would sign it for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she told me she loves me and she appreciates me and I love her. I'm going to marry Andrea.
Marry her.
Yeah.
Get her on the show. Let's go.
I would love to have her on here one day, but I know she's a busy lady, so But is there anybody in the sport that you admire, respect as a competitor?
Women or men?
Either one.
So for the women, Angie O is probably my all-time, just her general attitude. God, I've always been a fan of her. And then like we just spoke on, Ashley Jones. I loved her in women's physique. She was always just my favorite. And now that like we spoke about, now that she's gone women's bodybuilding, I'm like, okay, now we're coming for it all. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Then for men, I've always been diehard Nick Walker fan. So I'm happy to see him coming back to the O this year and hopefully hurt some feelings.
Yeah. I know him and Bob Ciccarello, who I got to also in Tampa, not very fond of each other. I call him Bobby Chick. So, yeah. But, I think that's about the sport. There's amazing people there. I mean, I grew up in the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era. I grew up with guys like Arnold and Lou Ferrigno and Lee Haney. And then I said again, when I get to my teenage years, those ladies, about them just piqued my interest. People like Corey Everson and Linda Murray and Laura Quay Val and Bev Francis, one of my favorites. Iris Kyle, I like the Iris Kyle. I mean, so many ladies. One lady I also got to meet was Alita Popa, just amazing lady. She was coaching a friend of mine back in 2022. I went to my first bodybuilding show was the Savannah Pro, and she was there. And I said, I want to say hello to her and tell her my friend Tina wants to say hello because she knew Tina that was a client. But yeah, there's amazing people in the sport. The sport has evolved over the years.
Oh my gosh!
If the changes have, you look at it now, how the evolution of the athletes. If you compare it to the Ronnie Colemans to the Samson Duas, it's
Yeah.
just it's just changed.
I love that's one of my favorite parts is the camaraderie. Who you meet, who you get to connect with. Instagram is so good for that. I mean, there's people I've never met before who I mean, we're close because we talk all the time on Instagram. Just other competitors. That is one of my favorite things about bodybuilding for sure. Because it's a tight knit family. It's getting bigger, but we're still a small group, especially with the women's bodybuilders and women's physique girls. I mean, there's not that many of us. So
Yeah,
it's good to
yeah.
get
But
together.
this just posted this out just about a few days ago that they're changing they're bringing back the point system, but it's going to be a little different next
Yeah,
year
I saw
because
that.
of so many competitors. And I think it's overflooded with bikini and men's
Yeah.
classic, aka I call it men's figure, and men's physique, aka I call it men's bikini.
We call it men's bikini. I was going to say that.
Yeah,
No hate, but we call it men's bikini.
well, I'm like I said, I just I'm just on there's one division coming out. It's a new one. I just the taste of my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, fit model. Excuse me.
Ugh.
I gave you some couple nice ladies that fit model. They're nice ladies. No offense to them. Just
Yeah.
this sound like this. The problem is that the criteria of the division is changing and the athletes are evolving. Instead of sticking to that criteria, you create another division that's going to end up being like the last division you're supposed to replace. Like women's physique was supposed to replace women's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But look at it now. Like I showed you that picture of Natalia and Ashley. There's some ladies who I've seen. There's one lady I seen. I sent it to Eunice yesterday, where it's this lady she's talking to right now, and she's supposed to be competing at the San Antonio in I think about a month. I think no, San Antonio's next week. I think next week. I think it's I think it's next. It's the week after next, I believe. And she's a figure competitor, but she looks like she could do women's physique. And I don't know. It's just I understand that it's up to the competitors what they want to do. But as yourself as an athlete, when you see your body grow in development and grow in developing, do you feel like you're a better fit in one division than the other?
For me, this year, especially with my legs, that's why I'm entertaining the thought of women's bodybuilding because there's no limit. That's the top tier, in my opinion. That's you can't get too big for women's bodybuilding. So yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I've always been a women's physique, just avid lover, but I know that with my growth is like, okay, a lot of these women might weigh in the 130, 140 range in women's physique on stage, and I'm going to be sitting in the 150s, maybe even close to 160 on stage. So it's like, even at this level, if I continue to grow, I'm going to have to grow into the division that's next, and that's women's bodybuilding. So, which I love. I mean, they're both, as long as we're not downsizing, we're moving forward in the path.
Yeah, I think it's about how each athlete grows and how they process. Some like you excuses. I don't want to go to that division. I don't. I'm just so big, and they're not as pretty. I think, don't give me that excuse. I mean,
I'll get on a soapbox on that because it's not supposed to be pretty. All right, we're here. We have muscle. We can be pretty and have muscle, but it's not a. What do they say? It's not a modeling agency. We're bodybuilders. So let's do what we're supposed to do. I'll get on a soapbox on that one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no offense to as I call them, the TNA divisions. To me, you're in the sport, but it's about how you grow, how you process, how you develop, your work consistency. That's one thing about bodybuilding. When people think about bodybuilding, the everyday person, it's like, I just pop some steroids. I could be like, I don't know, I just like this, start the tumor. No, conversations where I have you ladies and also some guys out here on my channel that it's more than just that. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. You have to be regimental. You have to be disciplined because the thing is that you can take whatever shit you think you can take to get you that level. It's not going to work unless you don't follow all what your coach plans out for you, or your diet and your training. Like you say, you talk about your legs. So that means that your favorite workout is leg day.
It's not, honestly. I hate legs. I just due to playing volleyball since, like I said, since I was 8 years old, my legs are just genetically gifted and they're big. So it's like, yeah, I'll train legs. I hate leg day though. I could train upper body every day of the week and be content if that was a thing. But they have to be done. It's a muscle like everything else. But no. That's why wellness would never work for me because I couldn't do 5 or 6 leg days a week.
Well, it's
Nope.
tough. I think it takes a lot of it takes a lot to do that much. I know quite often bodybuilders tell me they don't like leg day, but I had quite a few that said they love it, and I call them, "You're a sycophant. You're a mutant. You're a masochist. You just love that." I
Yeah, you
mean,
love the pain.
yeah, if they live for the pain, they die for the pain. We have here a shout out to my man DJ coming through. Appreciate this from your brother. He says, "Bro, how the you got all these athlete guests, you forgot the T instead of the S on your channel." Well, brother, it's called, you know what? You gotta learn on your own. This is my secret. I don't share my how I do things. You gotta do, if you want to do this, you gotta do this on your own. So, folks, while we have Roxy here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into social media for a bit. You want to follow her. Her link is in the description of this slide. You want to check her out, support her. She's also, again, she is a Bad Rap sponsored athlete. Shout out to Bad Rap. As I said again, the acronym, big and defined, ripped and pumped. And if you want to follow also Bad Rap, I will leave a link here. You can check out their product and also their mission, the Bad Rap missions out there. But guys, and it's no fish you, Roxy. I do this as a disclaimer to you guys out there. I know you guys. I'm one of you. I've some things I will not, have not done, but I know some guys would do it because you're sick freaks. No D pics, no weird shit. Stop it. Get some help. She has a man. We don't want Gerald to be like, "Who should see my girl?" I gotta bust somebody's head. And he's a cowboy too, so you be throwing that rope on you like, "Yeehaw!" Just
That's good.
put one of those, like, the little S mark.
Yep.
Yeah,
Random.
yeah. So guys, please be respectful of these ladies. Come on, don't do that shit. So we're gonna jump into her IG for a little bit. And there is a man right there, Gerald. You like, how long y'all two been together?
Right at a year and a month.
Yeah. And he's also thinking about being a bodybuilder himself?
Yeah, he's done. So the Muscle Beach Classic that I'm doing here in 4 weeks now, as of tomorrow, he won the overall on that. I want to say 3 years ago, I believe. He was going to compete this year, 2025, but he is fully supporting me, and we're going to get him back on stage at the beginning, tentatively, don't quote me, beginning 2026, and he does open bodybuilding.
Oh, yeah, great. I mean, it's good. There's quite a few couples that, like tomorrow, I have an interview with a couple. They're both Ivy pros, and recently, the wife just got a pro card last weekend at the North Americans. Husband, he competes in men's figure. Yeah, but I met them when I was in Tampa. They're both nice people, and it's the process. Like, here she is. She got, wow, you got some great shoulders. Your legs are pretty good.
That's my joke on wellness. I said wellness debut, hashtag hell to the nah.
Like I said, I think we see a lot of ladies jumping from divisions like physique and figure getting to wellness.
Yeah. That's the truth. A lot of pros are doing that. I feel like a lot of the pros that I know that are turned pro in like the 2019 time frame, there's a lot of them that have gone to wellness recently.
A friend of mine, her name is Jada. She earned her pro card as a physique competitor, and she competed in physique for a good minute. Then she went to women's bodybuilding, and right now she just made her debut in wellness last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing would happen with women's physique when it came into the game. A lot of female bodybuilders had to either move out or drop down.
Yeah.
And I think when a lot of those ladies come from bodybuilding, got into physique, it changed the look. It changed the aesthetic of the division. And I think it's kind of happened the same way with wellness.
That's the truth.
Yeah, and
I can
also,
feel that.
yeah, and also, as you know, you are, as you said again, you're a Bad Rap sponsor. When did you meet Eunice, and how long y'all know each other?
I have not met her in person, to be honest with you. I'm wanting to soon. She doesn't even live that far away. I want to say she said about an hour and a half from me. So we're going to try to make that happen soon. We connected on Instagram maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, and then that's all she wrote. I'm
That's
like, I
pretty
want to be a
good.
part of this. Let's go.
Yeah, I finally got to meet her because we did an interview about, I would say about 3 years ago, and she was that was the year where she was about to make her a pro debut. Now she's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
Practically, started out in women's bodybuilding. Now did women's bodybuilding when she did Tampa, but now she did physique. She won in her class 55 plus. Can't believe it's coming up. She's gonna be 60 this weekend, I believe. 60.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, and I got to meet her and her husband Willie. He's a good guy. I was at Tampa. I came and I wanted to see her. She was competing at the Masters show that Thursday night. That Thursday afternoon it started, but it was late in the evening when the end of the the finals, and we were looking for someplace to eat.
Yep.
So we drive all the way around Tampa. We were looking to find this nice little place, a little hole in the wall. We had a nice little late night supper together, pretty good time. One part there was only problem was we saw this couple were drunk and arguing. So, but it's good that and like I said again, your body's really got some great definition lines. Your quads, your shoulders. I mean, you said you feel like your legs is your best feature, or you feel like something else is your better feature.
So it used to be my worst feature. I could never, oh my God, I could never get them lean. This time they're turning. I still have, like I said, 5 weeks, but my glutes have never looked the way that they look right here ever at 5 weeks out. I don't even think my glutes looked that good and squared on stage my first time. I've always had a problem getting the lower body lean enough. I feel like my strong suit is my back. But everything has changed. This prep is so different than any prep I've ever done. Everything. The weak points are becoming strong. The strong points are like, oh my God, do I need to work on that a little bit more now? Because I feel like they're not as strong. My shoulders have never been where they are now. So it's crazy to see the changes coming out of fully giving up, because I did. And I'm happy that I didn't. I brought it back, I guess. The body snapped back in.
Well, like anything, this sport can be a process.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when I talk to ladies, it's not so much about trusting the process. It's understanding how far you want to go,
Yeah.
understanding how your body responds. Again, you talk about your strengths are getting stronger. You're working on your strengths and your weaknesses. That's the factors. You want to bring in everything together. You want that to be that complete athlete.
Yeah. Everything's strong, not just one or two things. Like I want to walk out there and be like, holy crap. All right. She came to play. Let's go.
Yeah. So before bodybuilding, what did you do? What was your living, or what you do now?
So before bodybuilding, I for a living, I worked in oil and gas for 10 years as a purchasing manager. I don't do that now. I work for a company that I am a purchasing manager still, but we purchase things for Walmart. Anything you see inside any Walmart in the world that you cannot buy, that's what we purchase for. So very, very nutshell, basic. But outside of that, I was always in the gym, but I was in that party atmosphere, that party life, that post-college lifestyle from like the age of probably 21 to 28 or so, where it was just all about drinking, and I'd go to the gym and then we'd turn around and drink, or I'd go to the gym and then we'd turn around and have 15 pizzas, or whatever. There was never like I could eat. I mean, if we could do an eating contest, let's do that. Not right now. I'm in prep.
Well, at my point in my life, my eating contests are done. When I was a much younger, healthier man, probably, but now I'm a little bit worn down. I got 2 bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a pacemaker. I mean, I was at one point because I was. This is a story about me. About it's going to be at least 11 years ago where I had my first heart attack. I
Mm.
was 39. I was working in this meat processing factory, and I thought I was just coming down with the cold because I was working in the cold area. So what I did was it was too far for me to go all the way home. So my sisters lived the next town over. So one of my sisters told me, go to the hospital. Nah, it's urgent care around the corner. So while I was there, they told me, Miss McCarthy, there's something in your blood we've seen, and we have to send you to the hospital. That was Cape Fear Valley, one of the biggest hospitals in North Carolina, in Fayetteville. I was there in the cardiac unit for about a week because they told me, Miss McCarthy, you had a heart attack. I said,
Oh,
what?
wow.
I thought with a heart attack, you'd be like, I'm coming to see you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah.
But then after that, I took some time off. Then I went back to work for a bit. Then I saw a specialist at one of the biggest hospitals in North Carolina, as you would see. Specialist told me, hey, we're gonna have to get you a pacemaker. And then I got a pacemaker. Went back to work for a good while. Then they had me doing some stuff that I've been working since I was 10 years old. My family is sharecroppers. I am a son of sharecroppers.
Mm.
We used to do that work. And I said, you know what? I'm 40 years old. It was my 40th birthday that day. I've been doing this work. I'm done. I'm walking out. I was gonna think about maybe come back the next day, but then my mom got sick.
Mm.
And she took care of about me, my brothers, my sisters. Her and my father would get up 55 years, even though he was in New Jersey and we still down here in North Carolina. He was doing his thing, she was doing her thing down here.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I decided I wasn't doing anything. So I started taking care of her. Because there was so much stress with that, I was at 500 pounds before I knew it.
Wow.
Because food was seen as a comfort. It
Yeah.
helps you go through the ass. I still have my habits, but I try to be smarter. But when she passed, I said, you know what? I got nobody else to take care of but me. And while I was taking care of her, I was doing this stuff here, making content, talk about you ladies, because
Yeah.
a friend of mine told me, said, shout out to my man, Coach Sherry Harrison. I was always shout him out and said, George, do something you like to do. Maybe something to keep your mind busy. And I started doing this. And then when she passed, I really got more involved into it because this gives me a purpose. Like I said, I don't have no kids. The one woman I had, she's gone. And this is something I like doing. I love talking to you ladies like yourself who have a passion for a sport because this is a sport about passion.
Yeah, that's what makes it. I mean, that it's crazy to, I don't know, just hear everybody's stories and why they're here and what they've been through to get here and all the different things. Like it blows my mind for sure.
Mm-hmm, yeah, there's so many different stories, from ladies who were like yourself, very athletic. Like I said, also ladies took a step back because of either medical, physical, sometimes the family reasons, or just some ladies I've talked to some ladies that dealt with abuse of drugs or being in domestic violence. They found that bodybuilding was a sport that kind of helped them but even though it's not a very popular sport compared to others, I remember when I went to Tampa. And I finally got to my room. I was tired. I took a long train ride. I got a train in South Carolina next time over. Took me 6 hours. I had 6 hours to get to. I had to wait in Savannah, where I went to my first Batman show. Had to wait 6 hours in the depot before the next train comes to go down to Florida. And that's a good trip. And then another 6 hours back when I was going back to back home. And everybody who finds this sport find something about that really excites them about it, that really gives them that not motivation, that discipline, that drive. Who you have here? Shout out to my man Ryan. Lakey says hello, Rosanna. Well, you can call her Roxy.
Hello.
Also, he says this. He says, "Are you competing this year again?" So, do you know
Again, I haven't competed in 4 years, but yes, I am 3 times. I have Muscle Beach Classic, October 4th. That's in 4 weeks as of tomorrow. Storm Classic, which is not a sanctioned, that's just one that's open to everybody. You can go and try to win money, October 11th. And then I got NPC Nationals, the big show at the end of the year to try to turn pro in women's physique or women's bodybuilding, one of the two.
A storm class sounds interesting. Making money, Wesley.
Yeah, it's a non-sanctioned. So we had some people on our team compete last year, and I had no idea. You don't have to. Doesn't have any fees associated with it. You just show up. you have to pay a registration fee, but you don't have to pay like an NPC or there's no federation involved. And then they give away, I don't want to be quoted on this, but I believe it's $1,200 for first place in the Open, $800 for second, and $400 for third. And that's for all of the Open divisions. And then they also have some really cool other stuff. Like they have a kids division. They have like a trans